Peace and blessings, soul family. I love you all. I hope everyone's having a blissful day today. So today we are talking about the last aspect of the Atma Tattvas. So what is contained within the microcosmos. So this is going to be explaining the individualized awareness. And we're talking about Purusha. So this is going to be coming from Tantra Illuminated. The individual soul, Purusha, the knowing subject, the self, the witness, pure consciousness, the embodied knower of the field, Atman, Jiva, Kshetrajna. The Purusha, the innermost self, soul, or pure witness consciousness, sits at the top of the hierarchy of tattvas in the system of Sankhya and the classical yoga of Patanjali. For those non-tantric systems, it is the ultimate principle, a transcendent reality, spirit as opposed to matter and energy. These systems propose that there are a plurality of the divine souls, each sentient being having its own, that are not part of one overarching conscious entity. For tantric philosophy, it naturally follows the Purusha is not the highest principle, for it does not express an all-encompassing view. Rather, Purusha is correctly understood in the tantric view as contracted form of the universal consciousness. So in the tantric view, there are not a plurality of selves as in Patanjali, but rather one self. So Purusha is the individuated consciousness, defined as Shiva veiled by 5 types of limitation, the Kanchukas. In some systems of Indian philosophy, the individual soul is a permanent entity, but in the Tantric Shaivism, it is a phase of contraction, and every contraction gives way to expansion. In this case, the expansion back into the absolute fullness of unlimited divine awareness. So the individual soul is not permanent in the system, though it may last for many thousands of lifetimes. It is still a wave in the ocean of being. But how does Shiva, the absolute consciousness, manifest itself in the form of an individual soul? By concealing its fullness with the 5 veils, the Kanchukas, which we'll be doing a video about that soon. So that's showing that, and I will let you know that the different schools of thought do have different ideas about it. In the non-dual Shaiva Tantra, like he said, there's only one soul, not a bunch of different souls. And in some of the dualistic schools of thought, some believe that there is individual souls. So there's definitely a variety of ways to look at this, but this is just giving you an idea of what Purusha symbolizes. And this is from Sankhya Darshan. Purusha means pure consciousness, which is a separate principle from Prakriti. In Sankhya, the differences between Purusha and Prakriti are described as follows. 1. Purusha is sentient, whereas Prakriti is insentient. 2. Purusha is Trigunatita, beyond the 3 gunas, whereas Prakriti is Trigunatmika, composed of the 3 gunas. 3. Purusha is the knower, Gyanta, where Prakriti is that which is known, Gyanya. Number 4, Purusha is inactive, Nishkriya, whereas Prakriti is active in constant motion. Number 5, Purusha is free from all causes and effects, whereas Prakriti is the primary cause. Number 6, Purusha is unchangeable, where Prakriti is changeable. Number 7, Purusha is a parinama, without consequences or results, whereas Prakriti is full of results, being the source of all manifestation. So because pure consciousness, Purusha, is the opposite of that which consists of the 3 gunas, it follows that it is the pure witness, Sakshitva. It is solitary, Kavalya. It is neutral, not separate from specific experience, Madhya Astya, and it is not the agent, Akarit Bhava. Purusha and Atma. The terms Purusha and Atma both mean spirit. The Bhagavad Gita has stated very clearly that the Atma cannot be perceived by the senses. It is eternal, permanent, and unchangeable. The same description has been used in Sankhya in relation to Purusha. So Atma and Purusha are different names for the same concept. In the Sankhya Karika, the word Purusha has been used rather than Atma. When the word Purusha is used, it refers to a nature which in itself is self-contained, although it is abstract. The Sanskrit definition of Purusha is Paristeti iti Purushaha. Sheti means that which is dormant or inactive. The word Puri here means the body, which is the citadel of the senses, mind, and spirit. So the consciousness in creation and beyond creation, that eternal nature which is based on wisdom, knowledge, and self-realization, is known as Purusha. The nature of Purusha is Chaitanya, which means self-awareness, that which is intrinsically aware, luminous, and enlightened. That awareness is known as Shuddha Chaitanya, pure awareness. Purusha is beyond pleasure and pain because it is free from raga and dvesha, attraction and repulsion. Raga and dvesha are both the result of desire, but Purusha is desireless, therefore is no desire aspect in Purusha. The law of cause and effect do not bind Purusha, nor is it connected to any sinful or virtuous act. Controversy between Sankhya and Vedanta. An interesting confrontation takes place between Sankhya and Vedanta at this point. In Advaita Vedanta, Shankaracharya assigned three attributes to Atman: Sat, truth; Chit, consciousness; and Ananda, bliss. In Sankhya, Ananda is associated with Sattva. Samkhya argues that Purusha Trigunatita, beyond the gunas, so bliss cannot be an attribute of Purusha. Only Sat, eternal truth that is pure, fixed, and luminous, and Chit, total consciousness, which is devoid of any guna. Ananda cannot be an attribute of Purusha because no experience that stems from the manifestation of a particular guna affects Purusha. If Purusha were to experience bliss, then it would also experience the opposite of bliss and be subject to duality. In order to free the concept of Purusha from the nature of duality, Sankhya has to reject the Vedantic theory of Ananda being a part of the nature of spirit. It is interesting to note that, in reply, Shankaracharya gives a different definition of Ananda, which, according with his Advaita Vedanta philosophy, he argues that there is a difference between Sukha, happiness, or bliss, which relates to Sattva Guna, and the manifest world of the senses, and Ananda, which relates to the transcendental bliss beyond the gunas. All right, I love you guys. I'm about to have to go finish dinner for my partner, but I love you all. Hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Peace and blessings.